Nothing we say is investment advice. Please pause on all 3 pages of this disclaimer and read it. Good morning, everybody. Cowboy here. It is Tuesday, March 31st, 8:30 a.m. EST. And we do have a little data coming out here. Let's see. It's in an hour and a half. Got some jobs data coming out, so that could move markets around. Meantime, let's take a look at our main story here. So far during the war, every Friday, Trump will make very hawkish comments, and that pushes the market down, in particular the NASDAQ and the S&P and the Dow. And of course, that move will affect the rest of the markets. Other positions will sell off, people have to cover, things like that. So every Monday or sometimes on Sunday, Trump will come out after the market open and say something that is dovish, that is less warlike, and he will push the markets effectively back in the upward direction by doing so, right? Trying to hold the markets up. So, he makes his threats over the weekend and then he walks them back on Monday. Basically, that's what that's looked like. And this week was no different, except in that those threats really didn't work. Actually, the threat worked, but the whatever that was, if there was one, but the Monday morning walk back or Sunday afternoon walk back didn't really do a whole lot. And the NASDAQ has been falling and has not been able to stay in the range that it's had going back to February 1st. And I said it yesterday on the weekly update that as it stands right now, the NASDAQ is a bit bearish, and Trump's efforts to hold it up with his little tweets, a little truth social post, whatever he's doing, are not really working that well, right? So not like last week where it kind of held things up. It wasn't able to keep the downtrend from happening, though. This is last week, right? Right there. Now, I've been telling you guys for months, since before Iran even happened, that the NASDAQ was vulnerable, right? That the NASDAQ wanted to head down. And yet it has stayed relatively steady going back to the beginning of February. And now we're seeing, even through Trump's, even despite Trump's efforts, it is actually falling. And then we have yesterday where basically he tried, I don't know if this is the exact moment here, but he tried to say whatever it was. I think it was something, typical. And the market went ahead and ate that right up and kept heading down. So yesterday I was in the middle of a trade and it screwed me up, actually. Trump said something like, we would be willing to end the war even if Hormuz remains closed. And that was rather bullish for markets, at least in the short term. The markets stopped falling in the near term, but the reality is it hasn't really done all that much, right? So this little move up is already being eaten up. Now, for that move to have a sustained effect, for that move to actually hold itself up, it would have to get above basically 23,600, right about here. And it has not done that. It may do that. And again, it might be also combined with other things where they might be injecting money, or perhaps for technical reasons, the market may head up. But the market, and the NASDAQ in particular that we're looking at, and it's going to look the same for the SP 500, it's going to look the same for the Dow, more or less. It has to get above this local resistance for us to even think that markets might recover, right? Now let's look at the algos, look at the stack really quick right here. The stack isn't looking that great. Now, there are some opportunities. We could see a move up here. There are technical reasons why this could bounce, but overall, according to what I'm seeing on the stack, is that this would be a short-term bounce. So to have any kind of short-term, let's use the word hope, if you will, any short-term optimism that this move might recover, we might get back into this range that we saw for 2 months, there are some specific levels that price must break. There's this level here at 23.6 that we just talked about. And then there's also a pretty key level here. And I'm going to make this level localized at about 23,770, right? Price has to get above this level and stay above it for the better part of a week, at least several days, for the markets to begin to say, okay, maybe this move down is over. Maybe this will head back up. And that's a long road to hoe. Especially the way that the algos, at least my algos, is talking right now. So we're gonna have to see how this behaves. If it rejects hard at 23.6, then that's probably, that's a good chance that it's game over. If it punches right through, if this price goes nice and hard right through here, then you look at, okay, well, maybe we have a chance here, but then you have this other hurdle, right? At 23.8 basically. So that's the way to look at the NASDAQ. And of course, if you're looking at the SP 500, you're going to have a similar look with similar levels. You're looking at the Dow, you're going to have a similar look. The Dow is a little stronger because the tech sector is a little bit weak right now compared to the Dow. A lot of the AI investment relies on oil. Oil is expensive. Take a quick look at where oil is. 107. So oil's hanging out. Oil's looking a little bullish still. I think for now, 80 may be the new normal. There are those who don't think so. There are many smart people who think that price will get below 80 again, and maybe it will. But it might also be the 80s the new normal. We'll see about it. Right now, though, oil is hanging out. It's staying above. Really, obviously, it's hanging out above 100. Right? It bottomed out in the low 90s and popped right back up last week. So before we move forward in some more charts here, we have time for a little bit more. Go ahead and look in the description. There's a link for a free algo. Click that link, and you'll have a free algo that you can test. You can test that algo out. It's a video. It's a very short video. It's very simple. I show you how I build the algo, and in that, I also show you how to turn it into code. And therefore, if you turn your algo to code, it's going to look something like this. So we can find like these little guys right there. It's not this algo. This is my own algo that I used to trade, and I let Algo Factory, if they want, I will tell them this algo. Like if someone says, "Hey, what's your algo saying about this?" Like I'll just post a chart for them. That's one thing we do for on demand for Algo Factory members. But you can code your algo so it looks like that. And once you've done that, you can actually connect your broker to your exchange and have it trade for you. But you do have to optimize the algo. The one that I've made for you, you've got to optimize it for what you're trading. And we teach you how to do that over to algofactory.tech. So don't just like have a trade for you. That's not the whole picture. We're just showing you how it's done. Let's look at the Bitcoin chart. Bitcoin having a little bit of a bounce right here. So it looks like it's kind of fighting for its life. It's been in a downtrend. If I just zoom out, let me zoom out to like a higher time frame. It's been in a downtrend for a long time, right? So it's basically since the top at 126,000, it's headed down, and it's making very clear lower high, lower low, lower high. So the next position would be like a lower low. I think that's going to be around 50,000. And you can see my algo is calling these moves out, right? You see all these red tabs. Like they're not all winners. This particular trade on the daily is a loser, but that's a winner. That's a pretty big winner. This is a potential winner. You might have lost it, but that's a big winner. And these ones right there it depends how you set your stop loss. That's probably a loser. These two are probably winners. And when I win a lot more than when I lose. It's very profitable trading algo in this case. This little green one was actually a loser, but the greens before it were big winners. So, and that's on the daily chart. That's just, you get a few trades in October, and you get a few more here in like December or January, maybe around once a month, a little bit less than that on the daily chart. But on the 30-minute chart, you're getting them several times a day, right? So anyway, the algo itself will do things like this. It's not as good as this. I'm not going to give this one away. This one cost $1 million. You want this algo, you got to pay me $1 million. I'll let you have it. The only people who have it is me and my coder. But if you're at Algo Factory and you want to see what my algo is saying, I'm happy to share that, right? I'll just be like, hey, here's a chart. There you go. So I think Bitcoin, though, will end up down towards 50,000 after not too long. I could be wrong. There could be like a bear market rally, and it could get be like a bull trap and then go down. But in the end, I'm pretty sure that we're looking at not that. We're probably going to see just a move down, and it might even be a lot quicker than what I just drew. Maybe it's probably going to head down pretty strong, This, if I had to guess exactly how it would go, I'm not big on, trading this high time frame, but I think you'll see it head down pretty strong towards 50. And eventually I think it's going to get below 30. We'll see about that. I think the bottom is probably going to be in October, November, or something like that. We'll see the cycle bottom, right? So that's what I expect. Thank you all for watching. This was the free live lab. I do it Monday. I'm sorry, I don't do it Monday. I sent out a free update on Monday, a market update where I chart what I think is going to happen for the week. And if you want to see that, just get the free algo, and I will go ahead and start sending you those updates on Monday. And there's an email talking about what I think is going to happen in the markets, just an explainer. Hey, this is happening in the world. And then it links you to the video where I tell you what's going to happen. That's free, along with the free algo. Also, we will go for another 50 minutes. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're live here for about 10 minutes, sometimes a little bit longer. And if there's trades, I'll take them. And then we go to the private live lab for the better part of an hour, right? So we're going to go next. They're watching it right now in the private chat. And then we will shut this off and answer all their questions for the remainder of the hour, or for however long we need to. And if there's no questions, I just go through all the charts and I go through whatever trade setups I think are interesting, and I share those. Now, we don't give away our trades in there. I tell you what trades I'm taking. I will give away my trade ideas, but it's not for you to trade. It's just for your research. And if your research happens to look like mine, then you might end up taking the same trade, but that's just coincidence, right? So thank you all for watching. Get that free algo. Also like and subscribe. We got a lot of people who watch this that do not subscribe. So give us a like, give us a subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow, Wednesday, 8:30 a.m. EST sharp. Thank you for watching.
Join us or die.
Just kidding. You're not going to die. We love you.